Good leap day. It is time once again for the Legends of Valcia. We are your legends. I am Harbeck Iron Fist. Well, that's my character. I'm Llama Chomp. Above me is Eversor. His microphone's muted. Above me is Eversor.
Can people hear me now?
Yeah.
I am Eversor. I believe that this week I will be playing Lord Silverstar, but I guess we'll find out once we get started.
Above him, at the beginning of the stream, is Babs.
Oh, hi! I'm Babs. I play Din, a ranger that was raised by wolves.
Across from me is Nima92.
Hey, I'm Nima. I play Gargantius, a happy-go-lucky human raised by dwarves. Oh, human fighter. Yeah.
And above him you will find Flick.
I'm Flick. I'll be playing Tabran, a warlock from another world.
And then Frozen in the top corner, because his true majesty on camera would blind you all, is Lolash.
In actuality, I'm just a cripple, and so I'm lying around not wearing much, and like if my camera was on, you would see the tip of my nose and my microphone. So
His
I
nose.
decided to just give you a picture. My nose, yes, let's clarify. I'm the DM, so it's my responsibility to give. Oh, this is how we're starting.
We've established it.
It's the tip of my nose. All right, so yeah, I'm responsible for the encounters and working out how on earth they're going to decide if they pass or fail silly things like arcane tricks to surgery. That's my job. That's what I do. But to get started, as always, when we're doing a new recording session, we need to do a recap of what happened last week. And Nose Goes says Nima does that. So Nima, why don't you tell us what happened during our last session?
So, we ate Druidanesh, and then we came back, and then Din asked the grass what time it was, and then the grass was like, it's only been 1 second. So then we were like, okay, that's weird. So then on our way back to bury the dwarves that we left behind, the pickle dwarves, Binks became fella Binksagor? Yeah, Binksagor. And said that we need to go to Thakon to rescue its mates. The Felagor, not Binkses. Anyway, we get to the pickle dwarves, and we have a big old argument, and we're like, hey, we shouldn't kill them, or because they had like yellow crystals in their tongues that preserve their bodies, and we took one of them out, and we found out that that made them die, like for real. So then we decided that was not a good thing to do, so the remaining 3 dwarves we buried somewhere else with the new alcohol preservative to keep them nice and fresh. We then decided that we are gonna make our way, through the Valley of Mist or whatever, but before that we have to cross the land bridge, and camping outside the land bridge at night, some monkey things attacked us. I couldn't really see, and then that's where we're at.
Just skipped over the top of the fight with the Dream Fane, some weird mystical creature that seemed to feed on the dreams of others, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of
Well,
worked
to
us
be
until
fair,
our...
in character, I was knocked out like instantly.
There's
so
a
I
good
wasn't
reason that
affected by
Gargantius forgot that fight, because he slept through it.
So that was like totally owning us until Harbeck Goldenbeard, because I just changed his name, punched it in the face with a stein and made it disintegrate.
It's
That's
Godfist. That's the new proposed surname
God.
if we do a change.
Okay. Okay.
He was working towards Godfist. You've got a ways to go yet. You've got a ways to go yet. Anyway,
It's true.
so the party was traveling north towards the Dreadnought to try and cross the land bridge into the Valley of Mists, and then they were going to skirt around the Valley of Mists as much as possible, heading for the ruins of Raketh. Right now, they are here. Just going to move the token. I am on the right map. Yes, good. Okay, you're about there. Currently camping. It's nighttime, and there were these little weird monkey things carrying big swords, and I believe Tabron, with his crazy good dark vision, managed to make them out and determine what they were.
Spryjacks.
Spryjacks, that's
Some
right.
And
tiny
then Din very
creatures
helpfully made it go boom, and they ran away.
They were like tiny
Helpful.
creatures with like human-sized swords, though, right?
Yeah.
Like just crazy. And Din scared them away, and it was during third watch. Now we're just trying to decide what we're gonna do, because I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna follow us.
Right, how long until light?
You'll
An hour,
like,
a couple hours.
yeah, it's only a couple of hours. It was late into the night, like early morning, before they showed up.
Well, if it's only a couple hours till light, and we're all awake,
Oh, you're all awake.
yeah,
Din made sure of that.
then Harbeck's gonna give up
got
on
real
sleep
loud.
for the night and just start preparing breakfast, and we'll make it as elaborate as we have supplies for, so that it'll be ready right about sunrise.
Always cooking or drinking.
Gonna kind of keep my eyes out, and with the knowledge that I have of these Spryjacks, just talk to everyone in the party. Just to keep your eyes out. You know, they travel in packs. They're really mostly easily startled, but they're really looking to thieve and steal from people. You know, before nightfall, if they haven't come at us, we may want to find them, because last thing we want is to have them sneak up on us in the dark.
And steal our stuff.
Speaking of the
But,
dark, if you'll wake me up when
Sticking
breakfast is
close
prepared,
together
that'd
might be
lovely.
good to avoid their pack tactics, I would imagine, because there's quite a few out there.
So, an interesting fact, Tabron, is that Spryjacks are not normally social creatures. While it's not uncommon for multiple Spryjacks to attack or to try and steal from a single encampment or town at the same time, it's normally because those two Spryjacks have stumbled across the same delicious
interesting.
prize. Seeing a group, I mean, you made out anywhere up to a dozen of them in the undergrowth. When they're mating, they will come together in a group of about that size. But even then, they don't coordinate.
swords.
Even then, they won't coordinate, because only the alpha male, the male who collects the most shinies, actually gets to mate with the female. So
Just like humans.
yeah, yeah, basically. She ain't nothing but a gold digger.
Girls don't like boys. Girls like cars and money.
So first, we came across a group of unnaturally sophisticated and civilized goblins.
Yep.
And now these Spryjack things are also working together. So,
This is really not
not related.
good.
Creepy? Not creepy?
I'm just trying to think. We know the end of this world is potentially coming. Could it be from the organization of
Unorganized things.
uncivilized, savage species?
Typically
I feel like we've
chaotic.
come
species.
across a life lesson that I need to learn. Perhaps I should stay unorganized so the world doesn't end. That's what I just learned from this conversation.
Normally, when we complain about the uncivilized, it's because we can't predict their behavior and we can't communicate with them because they're uncivilized. I have a hard time saying that bringing civilization to the wild is somehow going to destroy the world. But at the same time, it's definitely concerning.
Right, so I suppose my fear is that the reason for their seemingly sudden civilization may be some sort of driving force, something with less noble goals than to bring civilization to the wilds. Perhaps the semblance of civilization we're seeing is merely coordination under the guidance of Seraph and the company.
Do you think maybe the means
Or
justify
maybe,
the ends?
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we used to team up with other packs if there was something really scary around. And we felt like safety in numbers was a good thing to have.
Oh, so this might be a symptom of
Right.
the larger problem rather than itself being
Oh, interesting.
part of the problem. That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
Do you know what's difficult to do?
Uh-oh.
Play Dungeons and Dragons with no dungeon master.
Curses.
Where'd he go? Wait, every sort of split up across two of the windows.
I blame AustraliaNet.
I'm on one side, I'm on another side.
You-
I blame
probably not.
Canada.
Sadly, yours doesn't work like that. It's only Eversor that gets to be in two boxes. But the hierarchy works such that Flick takes over as DM because his camera moves up there. So, good luck.
All right. So, what do you do?
I've had jobs like that before. Ah,
It's still like dark
let's ask
out,
him
right?
Let's ask the new DM a bunch of questions about like game
Oh, he's
world
online.
stuff.
Call him.
Wait, he's back. Everybody behave.
What did I miss?
quick, everyone
I
put
just
your
got
pants back on.
demoted.
Aww.
I got
What did I
voted as
miss?
new DM because my camera moved
I liked
up.
it better when Flick was in charge.
Oh.
So while Flick was being the DM, we established some new canon.
Okay.
In this world.
So the Felagor
Because
is
you're gonna get
actually
me in
our
trouble.
pet that's gonna follow us around and grant us infinite wishes.
Yeah, Biggs gained all of the powers of the Felagor, but is still 100% loyal to me. So
Ah, right. Right, I understand.
Now, I believe
Don't,
we're
don't
keeping
make me
an eye
kill
out.
Vince again.
Yeah. So we were talking
So,
about
what did you miss? What
that
didn't you hear?
we were mostly just talking about what it means that these things are organized now, and Din's suggestion was that maybe their organization is a reaction to a big threat in the area rather than someone actively organized them, and that was the last sort of idea posed.
I actually find that one more intriguing, a symptom as opposed to what's actually.
but
Part of the
I
evil.
mean, in truth, whatever the cause, whether it be a symptomatic of some powerful creature in the area, or
They're here.
if they're being guided by some powerful creature in the area, either way, that means that there's something powerful in the area, and these creepy little things are organized now, and both of those things could potentially be bad for us, right? So we should probably be on our guard.
agree.
startle
I think
easily.
we've had good rest. I think we move forward, and we'll be strong enough to take whatever comes at us throughout the day.
So in my lifelong quest to not be terrible at perception, at our last level up, I once again took something to make me less terrible at perception. So my last feat was the observant feat, which both gave me a bonus to wisdom, taking away my remaining wisdom penalty, and gives me a +5 to my passive perception check, which is now 19.
Guaranteed.
19
Wow.
passive
Almost.
perception. Boom. This guy.
All the perceptions. He sees everything.
I don't know why you're investing so much effort in the worst stat in the game. It's obviously the one you should skip completely.
Clearly the dump stat.
Not everybody can dump their stat on perception, unfortunately.
Tavern
Okay.
also follows up his words with a rousing speech and inspires the group for the day.
Ooh,
Everyone in the
17.
party
Oh, man.
has 17 temporary hit
17
points.
temporary hit points.
What?
Woohoo!
And they last all day?
You should sing us more songs.
Yes. Well, it lasts until you use it, and then if we take a short rest, I can do it again.
So it lasts until all
So,
17 of them are
shielded
gone.
health.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can just
Or-
put them on my
or
current
There's
HP
no expiration to it.
and
there's no
not
expiration.
worry
We don't
about
like-
which ones are temporary and which ones are real.
There's a place for temporary.
Yeah, it's on the right.
Yeah.
Oh, ha!
There surely is.
I just put them on my current, it's fine.
Okay, great.
That works too.
Okay, so the plan is to then travel across the Dregnol now. Is that right?
Yeah, and
Right.
so we suspect that this is going to be like a full day crossing the Dregnol, right? And we'll camp kind of right on the other side of it. Is that what we're
Basically, yeah. About
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I mean, you could push on further, but you wouldn't be able to get out of the Valley of Mists.
Right.
You would be, you will have to camp in the Valley of Mists. Unless you force march, like, all night.
All the way through the night.
Yeah.
Yea, though I walk through the Valley of Mists, I shall fear no little stabby guys. Because I have 17
Or
extra hit
lizards.
points. Meh.
I really thought that was going to go somewhere eloquent, and I like where it ended up.
No. Babs does scriptures. The best. Okay, let's.
Wow, that is a mouthful.
Okay. Yeah, so let's head across the Dregnol. I am gonna be our rear guard and keeping a passive eye out for those dudes that are following us, because I'm super good
Okay.
at that now.
You
I
are
can lead
super
the
good at that.
front, or lead with
I'll lead.
Llama at the front, or someone at the front.
Or Steed will lead.
Steed will lead. Okay.
Look at Gargantius,
I'm
all good at
struggling
riding
to-
steed now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He can't just ride him, he can combat ride him. Sorry as I adjust myself here. I need to try and get comfortable because I can't afford to be in pain for the next 3 hours. Right, heading across the Dregnol, I need to roll some dice.
We also can't afford for you to be in pain for the next 3 hours. We would like our GM to be happy.
Okay.
Quick, everyone roll some medicine checks.
I don't think that works. And finally, okay.
I think everyone but
about
you and me has
two-
decided to be useful during the march.
Good. That means we don't have to, right?
Aye,
Yeah.
that's what it means.
So we
Alright,
can
about-
make more beer?
About 2 hours into the march, Gintius is going to have to roll a
Saving
riding
throw?
check, which is handle animals, I
Oh.
believe.
Oh dear.
Oh, be the right
It's
order.
okay, Steed. You're okay.
Good work, Jason.
Of course.
What two extremes roll?
Okay. Steed is a sure-footed, noble creature who has carried you through some very tough terrain. But he shocks even you with the ferocity with which he balks at a seemingly innocuous piece of ground. Upon closer inspection, after having managed to keep yourself in the saddle despite how intensely he tried to kick you out, you realize that it's a quagmire, sucking mud. It's like quicksand, only worse, because you just, like,
Fast sand.
if Steed had stuck his front legs in, then you would have been hard pressed getting him out. So
Don't give in, Artex. Don't give in to the sadness.
Oh dear.
Oh,
good boy.
showing my
Good
age
boy.
with that
Good
one.
boy. Guys, we cannot get any further than this unless we have some ways of, making a bridge that'll hold all of our
We
goods.
have the magic rope.
Silver Star.
I don't know if that's gonna hold Boozy and Steed.
I don't know how much Eversor told you about... Eversor? I don't even know who that is. I don't know how much Brieg told you about that ring you're wearing. But you might dry out the quag a bit.
Yes, perhaps.
It's a great
I
idea.
might. Well, let's see. I have a ring of watery power, is what I have written in my inventory. And I believe that we were using some Arcana checks to make this happen, and
You
better
were.
bet Lord Silverstar is better at that than Brieg. So Lord Silverstar will walk up to this very deep, sticky mud and try to use the power of this ring to suck all the water out of it. And make it nice,
all of
dry,
the water
drinkable.
out of it.
An amount of water out of it that will make it so it is passable.
Okay.
Not all the water out of it. That would probably be a bit extreme. But we're
Alright.
trying to dry it out enough that we can walk on it.
Roll an Arcana check. Yep.
Those dice,
It's much
though.
better than Brieg.
That was pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
You remember. Well, you kind of remember. You remember him remembering how to. I'm just going to say you remember.
Okay.
Brieg managing to dry out some clothes with a similar technique. And you managed to conjure upon that power again. But even after a minute of concentration and sort of gathering a sphere of about a meter radius, big sphere of water out of the mud, it doesn't appear any drier.
What if instead you tried to freeze it?
This is going to work.
Like, just make it solid. It doesn't need to be dry, it just needs to be solid.
I'm not sure that this ring can accomplish that, but certainly we can try.
But you just need to arrange the
okay.
molecules so that they're in a crystalline lattice. It's not...
Right, well, which type of ice are we talking about?
The solid kind.
Right.
I believe Ice 1 is the proper designation.
Okay, it's worth a try, so I'll float that ball of water off somewhere and drop it, if that's a thing that I can do.
Sploosh.
And we will try to see if this ring also controls the temperature of water. Because who knows? Ready, go.
That's such a better roll.
Yeah, Lord Silverstar knows. That's who knows.
As you sort of focus on trying to freeze the water in the mud, and you manage to just start to do it. You manage to like actually start to freeze the water in the mud. The ground in front of you starts to rise, and Silverstar learns a valuable lesson about water. In that
Expands when it freezes?
it expands when it freezes.
This looks suspiciously like science.
I must have frozen a lot of water if it expanded enough to be noticeably bigger.
Right, try expanding it out horizontally. Not vertically. What are you doing?
Could I have...
Are you even thinking about this? We don't want to climb an ice
Do you
hill.
honestly believe that I have enough... Do you honestly believe that I have the sort of
How
detailed control
how high
that I
did
can
it
arrange the
expand?
direction of the ice crystal expansion?
Well, obviously, you've got like the super ring of complete control over water. Of course you do.
Don't we have an earth ring? Or was that air in something else?
We have an air ring.
Oh, you've got
Nothing
the air ring.
Earth-related.
What if we all just fly over the quagmire?
Does that work?
Maybe if he can't
Can we
make the
just go
water
around?
solid properly, you can make the air
Can you
solid.
air bridge?
Yeah, so
You guys,
I would have to.
how
guys,
wide is
I
the
might
Dreadnought?
be-
This probably doesn't... I mean, Din's right.
we
We're
got
obviously...
here at one point, so we should be able to get back.
Right, we're
Right?
probably putting far too much thought into this. I mean,
We go around.
the Dreadnought isn't only 8 feet wide. We should try to see if we can find an edge to this sucking.
Yeah.
Right. I have a big stick, so I can poke the ground as we walk.
Okay. As you poke the
Okay.
ground and
It's a
test
football.
the area in front of you, eventually you realize that while the Dregnal is a mile wide, the quagmire seems to sort of occupy the center third of that space. So you have quite a bit of wiggle room on either side of it to actually slip past.
Perfect.
Here we go, y'all.
Let's slip around the sides.
You guys and your boring, simple
was,
solutions.
This was a Johnny English
But
situation.
Harbeck, I am intrigued, Harbeck, by your thought that flying could be an option.
Right, if you've got a powerful artifact, you might explore the boundaries of its power. Seemed a good moment to test.
Does seem like a good moment, and why not? Even though we can walk around, I'm not going to fly over it, but perhaps for future use, this could be handy. Tabrin
Do you know how to use that thing?
concentrates as much as Silverstar knows how to use his.
He'll be
Try.
fine.
So I'm
He's not going to
use
fly
the-
high enough that if he messes up, he's going
the
to
ring
fall and
to
get
see if
hurt
there's-
himself. Just a few inches off the ground.
some way
He
that I
hopes.
can fly.
We'll grab him with the magic rope
Oh,
if he
this is
accidentally
happening.
goes too high.
Why did that not roll?
Did you change your roll settings?
I see
there are
one
little,
die.
There are little gears on the side in the sheet now that you can just designate it as
Oh.
normal, advantage, or disadvantage.
Interesting.
That's
So I just
interesting.
rolled a normal roll.
What does prompt for
Fair
emote
enough.
mean? I'm gonna try this.
Science. Tabrin, it takes a lot of focus to sort of tap into the power of the ring.
Oh, wow.
It takes a lot of focus to tap into the power of the ring. You find yourself closing your eyes and focusing entirely on the magics. And Harbeck, you feel a light draft, and it gets stronger, and then you realize that Tabrin is hovering about 6 inches off the floor.
You've done it!
I can't believe that worked.
Done what?
Another god walks among us.
Look down and I'm like, whoa. So, like, Tabrin
The
tries
second
to
you get distracted
move?
by the fact that you're actually flying, you lose concentration and fall the 6
back
inches
down.
back to Earth.
So while he's
practice that
doing that,
more.
I'm going to test if I can conjure water with my little ring. I know it's a spell. It's a relatively simple spell, low level spell to conjure water. I wonder if my ring can do that.
You so you try to focus on making water, and nothing happens. Like that's your initial focus is like make water, make water, make water, make it, make water.
And then
Condense
you
water out of the
suddenly have to
surrounding
pee. Really, really bad.
And as you're standing there sweating, you realize there's water everywhere. Like, I'm standing in a swamp. The air around me is thick and foggy and full of moisture. And with that realization, you draw the moisture out of the air to create water. And you find that you can actually create quite a large amount, but it would, of course, depend on the amount of water around you. It seems the artifact's power is not so much making water as it is
Controlling it.
it.
So if I can like conjure it into a ball.
Yep.
I want to test something else. So I'm gonna collect enough out of the air to make a ball bigger than my head, and then I'm going to stick my head in it and see if I can breathe in the water with my ring.
This is the weirdest way to do this.
Well, the idea
This is not good for your long-term health.
When you break the
the idea
surface
here-
tension of the ball, does it just explode?
The idea here is that if I fail when I inhale a big mouthful of water, I will lose concentration on what I'm doing and
Lose
drop all the water.
concentration.
Or, if you
And
don't
then it
lose
won't be-
concentration,
I won't
you
drown
can just
myself.
control the water back out of your lungs.
Right.
But don't control too much of the water out of your lungs, because that could be bad.
Feeling.
Point is, I'm gonna try to see if I can breathe underwater.
Okay. You take a big mouthful of water and cough and splutter and lose all focus and concentration and find yourself drenched from head to toe in a big puddle of water.
That didn't work.
Oh no, Babs.
Right as that happened,
It's on my
Tabrin.
face, Tabrin. Maybe
not
don't
the
do
whole
that.
ball of water.
Yeah, I put my head in it. That's what I just said.
Did anyone see where Tavern went?
What?
I mentioned you see, and
Oh, he's up there?
I'm here on the ground.
Oh, I thought you like flew like 50 miles in the air with that
No,
roll.
no, I was throwing the
Window
ball of water
perhaps.
that was floating in the air.
Oh,
Sounds what stuff. As I pat him on the back to help him cough that water out. I'm impressed by your commitment to science. I had pegged you as the sort whose bearing and image to the people around him was much more important than learning a thing, and you've clearly shown me that you value knowledge more than perhaps I'd given you credit for.
Of me. Experimentation is vital to advancement. Now, if you'll give me a moment, I will use probably just good old prestidigitation to draw all the water out of dry myself off, because I'm not sure I want to play with the ring anymore at the moment.
That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense. Okay. So the quagmire has been successfully navigated.
Look at the way
what was
the
it?
rolls are doing the math now. Also, when you mouse over them, it's not like giant vomit.
It's
It actually
actual,
tells you what's
like,
happening.
Plain mathematics.
numbers. Instead of like huge amounts of slashes and weirdness.
Yeah,
That's so awesome.
good work, character sheet.
I'm so excited by that. I'm too excited by that.
I'm a little disappointed that I have to set the behavior for every single thing. Is there a place where I can set the default
Yeah,
behavior?
but there's not. No,
Unfortunately.
So if I
not.
wanted to do all my
searched.
skills, I would have to click through setting the behavior 25 times.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
unfortunate.
But you only have to do it once. Like... which is good.
You only have-
Right.
Yeah, you only have to click it 25 times once.
Does show math show Oh yeah, neat. So you can show the math without having to mouse over too.
Ah.
Also,
Very cool.
Harbeck did a cartwheel or something.
Also, crit on that.
Ow! Don't do that. Don't, please. Oh.
Sorry.
That we're wasting our crit rolls today.
Yeah. So many crit rolls on nothing.
I don't think mine was anything.
Ow. Okay. I need to
So-
avoid doing that. Next on the list of things.
Continue down the.
What's the terrain here like? Is it just like
Signal.
flat, devastated land, or is there like plant life and things other than mud?
This is a dead swamp.
Okay.
It is almost completely flat, besides the occasional broken tree jutting up out of black murkish water, either side of what is... calling it a land bridge is a little bit, like, generous.
It's just less swampy than the rest of the swamp.
Yeah, like, it's less swampy enough that if you really tried, you could get a wagon across it. And so I guess that's why it's a land bridge. But you wouldn't want to. you would
Not
want...
make for a fun afternoon. Huh?
No. Well, it wouldn't make for a fun, like, 3 or 4 days. Because that's how long you'd have to take crossing so that you didn't get bogged. But you could. And that's the main thing. Okay, so about an hour later, Din, your wolf
Yeah.
comes up and nuzzles your hand and whimpers.
What's wrong, buddy?
He
Are you hungry?
Stares off into the swamp, into the fog.
I don't like it when you stare in the fog. Cats do that. It freaks me out. Do you see something? I don't see anything. Hey, Tabrin.
Yeah.
You see good. Is there something over there?
I'll look off in the distance. How dense is the fog?
It's fairly thick. It obscures your vision well before your vision would normally be obscured.
How dense is the fog if I create
Wind it
wind to blow it away?
That's a really good question.
Silverstar, make all the fog into water.
There's a remarkable
So I
amount.
basically want to part the fog in that direction if possible.
Okay.
There's a lot of water, even in relatively dry air. Can you imagine how much water I would get out of this like pea soup fog?
Yeah, it would be pretty atrocious.
So much for our land bridge. Who brought a boat?
We only need it out of our way. It doesn't have to be in his hand.
It's just like Moses style.
Tavern, you attempt
Parting the fog.
You attempt to part the fog with wind, and like some of it sort of dissipates and is a bit wispy, but even with your full concentration and understanding, limited understanding admittedly, but understanding of how this ring works, you can't seem to part the fog.
I'm about to say it. There's something in the mist.
No.
I think
Do you sense anything, Binks?
proceed forward with caution. There's
The ferret chirps at you. I think chirping is the most appropriate word for a ferret.
Insert the YouTube video.
It kind of, chirped, I guess.
Which basically says, something doesn't smell right.
Binks agrees with your wolf. He says something.
Was there a
doesn't
reason
smell
to doubt Arian? I don't think there was.
right. No, of course not, but additional confirmation never hurts. He says something doesn't smell right. I'm not sure if it's something we'd be able to see. Probably your friend there, Arian, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is sensing it the same way.
Harbeck lights a torch.
I'm gonna light it. Oh, I was just about to say that, and then you said it first. I'm also gonna light a torch.
Okay. You both now have lit torches.
How are they doing against the fog, at least locally?
I mean, you can still see like maybe 30 yards out. Roll a perception check. Everybody can, because you're all paying attention right now.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
My
Paying all
worst
of the
roll.
attention.
Oh wait. Maybe it's not my worst roll.
Do I put this on? What do I put this on? Always advantage? Is that how that works?
Yes!
Holy.
I just put it on.
If you
I
emote
told
good, you
so
get
everyone
20s.
prompt me.
What do I put it on?
I just
So-
asked them to prompt me for advantage or not.
Okay, great.
So, Brig, that's actually like, well, it's a critical fail, but it would normally be like a 19.
So
Why did it
Lord
start rolling?
Silverstar does not have enough levels in Rogue to have that minimum
That
threshold.
is
thing.
unfortunate.
So that's actually a 5.
Okay. Tabrin.
I shouldn't have tried to look. I should have just
Yeah.
let it happen passively. Then it would have been a 19.
It's a thing. It's a thing. You're really glad you read this particular book years ago in a library discussing alternative magics and theories of alternative magics and apparent magical creatures that didn't make any sense. The fog isn't just a fog. There's something in the fog, and it's driving the fog, and it's behind you, and it's coming towards you. You have knowledge nature.
Yeah.
It's still a ways off. You've managed to notice it early because you rolled really well on your perception. If you have knowledge nature, you can roll a knowledge nature check.
Will
Right
do.
about now.
I have knowledge everything. Oh, I have to
You do?
push all these
Knowledge.
buttons now.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm doing this, I'm telling everyone, gear up. There's something in the fog. It's hostile.
Oh no. Are we in a B-list movie?
Hey, Din.
Yeah.
You actually know what this is.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to know.
It was like a grim fairy tale that Mummy told you when you were little, and why you should stay away from bogs. Because if you don't, the Usanag will get you.
Oh, it's the Usanag. We gotta go.
Right, what does the Nusanog do? How do I fight it?
It eats children if they go into the swamp,
Okay, so we protect Silver Star.
right?
Child.
And me.
Right, it might mistake you
I'm
for a
not
child.
that- We're all pretty short, except for Tavern. Right?
Yeah, I'm
Yes. However, I am several
Very tall.
centuries old, so if
Right, but
You
it's
have
foggy,
nothing on
and he
me.
might not know that you're...
Tavern is several
how many of-
millennia.
how much of your
I'm
millennia have
several
you actually
millennia old.
experienced? However, just because you came from a place that existed millennia ago, if you
Experienced
haven't
enough to
actually
have more
experienced
magic
it-
power
suddenly
than you
feel
do,
like
my
the baby
friend.
of the group, even though I'm a little taller than some.
Okay, let's
Right,
not
lads,
fight.
let's fight each other
just run
after we
away.
fight this thing.
Perhaps instead of fighting it,
I
we
need
should-
to move Everstar out of the way so
Continue
Babs and I
on.
can high five every time we try to do the same thing at the same time.
How fast is the fog moving?
How fast is it moving? Fairly quickly.
You guys, it's
We
bad.
don't,
Let's just
we
go.
don't have time to outrun this.
Yeah, we can run pretty fast, especially the little guy.
Yeah, but can you run
Certainly
fast
not.
and be careful that you don't run into the bog and the quagmire,
Or trip
whatever,
on a
and
root.
You
get
know
stuck?
what? I'd rather die in the bog than be eaten by the thing.
Right, but what if
Roll
getting
a
stuck in the bog
single-
is what gets you eaten by the thing?
I need
Oh,
one
I
more
didn't
perception
think of
check,
that.
please.
More perceptions?
Perception?
More perception.
Is this the ground that we want to make
Please.
our stand on?
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
I like how Tavern had to fail his roll to get the same score that I rolled.
Do I have the lowest intelligence?
The ones have to even out with the 20s.
Oh, thank God I passed.
that was some
I hope.
awful rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because we're too busy fighting.
This is
I'm
very
totally
true.
blaming
The
this one
dice
on
know.
Silver Star.
They know.
Okay. Beating me by 1. Gargantius.
Yes.
As as you glance around, like, not understanding why the party is fighting when there's something to hit with your sword, you notice 4 large heaps of rotting plant material rising up out of the swamp behind you and on your flanks.
Wait, it might be okay.
Oh, we're going to need a bigger boat. I mean, this is the wrong line, but yeah. Big things coming.
And
I know what to do now.
Harbeck starts
Wait, I
drinking.
can talk to it. It's a plant creature. Right? Is it a plant creature?
Ask the grass if it's a plant creature.
I only get to cast the spell so many times.
So,
Do I have time to do a thing, or are we in combat now? Are we about to roll initiative?
we are going to...
My dear, even if you can communicate with it, they appear hostile. I'm not sure that the conversation will be fruitful.
It might be really startled if it finds out it can talk to me.
Plants.
I think the message you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
send
is
everybody
like
roll initiative.
brains or something like that.
Don't have time to
Okay,
do
let's
it.
get
Oh, we
some
need
initiatives.
tokens to highlight.
Yep, I am moving you over to... I believe you're all on this map. I think.
I am.
Yes.
Oh
you are
dear, I
all on
don't like
map.
that roll.
Did I already do that? No, I didn't. Oh, I have to click on me. Where am I? It's not it.
I don't believe that I got a 21. Did I get a 21?
I'm gonna talk to it.
Okay, that's everybody's initiative rolls. I need to roll mine. Ew.
Yay!
That's a little bit better. Okay. Right, so you got a 19. No, you got 3. You got a 19. Okay. Sort and descending. Right. So there's no battle map for this one.
Foog. The fog gets its own roll. I don't like this at all. I knew we should have run away.
Oh gosh.
Don't mock the foog.
Don't mock the food.
Very important
Sounds like a
Dungeons and
dream.
Dragons advice if you've never played before. Don't mock the food.
Never mock the food. Right. Din,
Who?
you
Wait,
get your
I'm
first
so
action.
confused. I don't. Okay. Fog. Fire.
Should this be our cliffhanger?
Okay.
Or how far over the break do you expect this combat to take us?
Cliffhanger.
This is probably a very appropriate time to take a break. All right.
Cliffhanger.
So, if you want to find out what happens with the foog, tune in next time. When we return with more Legends of Valcia. If you're watching on YouTube, the next episode should be up soon. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll see you in about 3 minutes. Take care, guys.
I'm gonna go take care of a